Welcome to the Arbitrary People podcast. I'm your host, Makai Davis. My best friend, she's a producer. Her name is Jasmine. You touch my hand. This is the podcast where we talk about very arbitrary things, like how I messed up the intro 2 seconds ago, but you'll never see that. Or how, my grandma retired this week. Yay! Or how, I stubbed my toe the other day. It hurt. It was painful. Plus, this week, I randomly kept waking up at 6 in the morning. I don't know why, I just have. On today's episode, I want to talk about something I've been very excited for the past, this year for the past 7 months, but realistically for the past 2 years, and that is the newest Superman movie, directed by James Gunn, starring David Cornsweet, Rachel Brosnahan, and Nicholas Hoult. I went to go see the movie last night, cause it was my grandma. Well, my grandma, she retired yesterday as well, and I wanted to go see the movie yesterday, cause I didn't want to go see it today, cause I didn't want to, cause we record on Saturdays, so I didn't want to impede on that. So I went yesterday, and I loved it. 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 I loved it so much. I loved it so much. It was a really I even wrote a whole review on it. I wrote a whole 3-page review on it because it was that good to me personally. I saw it yesterday. I saw it last night, and I think with this movie, I think I was the most excited for this film that I have been for a film in a long time. Between this and Fantastic Four, I don't think I've been that excited for anything in my life for there's Endgame. But for recently, I haven't been as excited for anything in my life recently. So, but in terms of movies. But I really loved it. I remember as soon as I came out of the theater, uh as soon as I came out of the theater, I completely loved it. I even though I did have one, I did, but I also didn't like the ending. I didn't like the ending only because I don't know, it just felt off to me. Plus, it kind of to me, in my opinion, it kind of dismissed a very important part of Superman's character that includes his biological parents. Because there was a part of the movie, there's a plot point in the movie that also I don't want to spoil the movie because I ain't got time for this to be someone click on the video and it's me talking about Superman. Dang, I got spoiled by some random person. No, spoiler free. But I will say I didn't really like the ending. But outside of that, to me the film is a 9 out of 10. It's probably my favorite DC movie. Probably. Yeah, I'd say it's my favorite DC movie. Um, I definitely like it more. I don't like it whenever a new DC movie comes out and it's oh, it's the best movie since The Dark Knight, when the last 2 or 3 DC movies, in my opinion, have been way better than The Dark Knight. Plus, I don't really like Christian Bale's Batman all like that because to me, his Batman isn't really Batman to me. It is, but it isn't to me. And I wrote an entire review for this movie about all the things I love about this movie. And to me, this movie was essentially, as I was watching the movie, I was starting to think this movie really is it's some of the best parts of Superman lore that has been, touched upon, recreated, and given to him over the past 80 years. You know, this movie is specifically covers all the best parts from Superman Birthright, or the original 1978 movie, Superman for All Seasons, even some of the Golden Age stuff from the 50s, and especially All Star Superman, which was the not necessarily the storyline that was based on for the movie, but the movie was mainly based on like the tone of the movie. The the movie was based on the tone for the book, and it was truly all the best parts of everything of all those things. I love David Cornsway as Superman. To me, he's essentially like IRL Superman, especially if you watch any of the interviews. He really is just like IRL Superman. He's tall, he's built, he's charismatic. He has the confidence. You just believe in him as Superman. I loved Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. She was a very smart, intuitive, 10 step ahead, beautiful type of woman. And I just loved her. I especially loved her and Clark's dynamic, especially considering their relationship to me is probably the most, especially in this movie, their relationship is probably my favorite incarnation of that specific relationship between the two outside of like Superman and Lois and Smallville, and maybe the original Reeves movie. Even though Lois and Clark in the original Reeves movies, there wasn't really a romance between them because by the time the second movie ended, Clark like erased her memory by kissing her, and then she forgot the entire plot of the movie, and then they never talked to each other again after that. Well, they did, but like they never like liked each other again. It was just like Superman was just doing his own thing. And I definitely believe James Gunn knocked it out of the park with this movie. I honestly liked this movie more than I honestly like this movie more than his Guardians trilogy because he also made the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, and it was it was really, really, and it was that good to me. There were certain moments that like in the movie that gave me chills. It was like what I was watching on the screen, just like it just gave me chills. And there were even times where like this was one of those few movies for me personally where like the movie wasn't necessarily sad, but like I was just teary-eyed for like half of it because what I was seeing on the screen. It was just like it was just beautiful. Like it was just amazing. And like it's just I don't even know what else to say besides it was just beautiful. And and even some of the parts with Clark and his adopted parents, Pa and Ma Kent, that they had great scenes together, in my opinion, this movie has the second, maybe even first, but I still need to watch the rest of Smallville because Smallville has the best Lex Luthor in my opinion. But Nicholas Hoult is like second to that because in this movie he was just so good. He was so charismatic, so bald. Um, he was everything Lex Luthor should be. His hatred for Superman was believable. His envy for Superman was very much like you could tell he was just. And one of the things I realized about the film was that his hatred for Superman was really just envy morphing into insecurity. That's really all it was. And he was like, well, envy, insecurity. Well, his envy was just insecurity and xenophobia rolled into one, because he was very xenophobic, and he was but he Lex Luthor is also kind of like that in the comics. He does not like aliens. Um, the supporting cast is also really amazing. I love Jimmy in this movie. Jimmy was really good. Lois was great. Um, the Daily Planet cast was really good. um, you know, Perry, Steve Lombard, just all of them were really good. My other favorite part of the movie was the Justice Gang. The Justice Gang, they did amazing with this movie. James Gunn did really good with the Justice Gang because originally when they announced that the Justice Gang was going to be in the movie, a part of me was kind of like curious and maybe a bit apprehensive to them being in the movie because when you look at the entire cast of the film in general, it may seem like it was very overstuffed and like there's kind of way too many people in this movie, and some people were even questioning, is this even really a Superman movie anymore? Just because it has other heroes in it, it was definitely was. Like the entire plot surfaced around him, but the involvement of the Justice Gang was really good. They did really well with Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, and Hawk Girl, especially with Guy and Mr. Terrific. After watching this movie, I think Mr. Terrific might be like my favorite black superhero of all time. Don't get me wrong, I love Blade, I love Black Panther, but Miss Terrific, he was just he really was like to me the MVP of this movie outside of like Clark being Superman. He was very he was smart, he was charismatic, but he was also serious in a way that made it believable. You know, he had this one action scene in the middle of the movie that was like really good, and it was great. Guy Gardner, he was amazing. You know, he, unironically, I think he definitely brought back the bowl cut hairstyle because most of the time in comics, well, back in the day, Guy he had like the bowl cut in the 80s, but then modern times they gave him like a modern type of hairstyle where it's not really the bowl cut. It's just like he has like the sides faded and then like the hair kind of like that. But I really like. But I'm kind of glad they rock with the bowl cut because he actually like really looks good with it now. You know, and he was also to me he was like the third MVP. He was after Clark was the first one, Mr. Terrific was the second one, Guy was the third one. He was also he was also really good. Metamorpho was also very good in this movie, even though this is like the first time I'm kind of well, not necessarily discovering him because I've seen him in other things, especially in animation. But w- with him being with this being his first appearance in the movies, he was very good. I liked him. His whole thing with his son Joey, that was really good. You know, his power scale, the him showing off his powers was great, and I loved that part. You know, Hawk Girl as well. You know, she was great. I liked the showcasing of her powers, you know. And I remember there was one scene where like she's like flying and she's like hitting people and she has like this scream. She's like screaming, but it sounds like a hawk. And that was unbelievably raw. There are like plenty of moments in this movie where I'm just making like the stank face, just through and through. It was just amazing. Like it was really good, you know. Ah, what else? The music was also really good. I really liked the music. Music was great. Um, music was good. Action was good. Uh, outside of the ending, it was really good. Also, one thing before we go, because I think we got like 10 minutes left, or no, not 10 minutes. I at least want to explain one more thing. Well, really two. Um, there's a certain actor in this movie that plays Terrell, who is Superman's biological dad. I didn't think he would be I didn't think he would do as good of a job as playing Jor-El as he did. And honestly, I liked him in this movie, even though he was kind of barely in the movie. I liked him in this movie more as Jor-El than I did Russell Crowe or Marlon Brando in Man of Steel or the Superman anime or not the Superman anime movie in Superman the movie from 1978. He did better than both of those guys, in my opinion. And he was only in the movie for like 3 minutes. And also another thing, this movie is it's political. It is kind of a politically charged movie, but there's a plot line in this movie that I really like, and it kind of uh it goes with a certain political uh situation that's going on. You'll see if you will go watch it, and I think it does the settlement between the in real life political situation very well. I think it handles it very well especially considering it was in a fictional world and in two different fictional places. That was all. Anyway, I love this movie, and honestly, I'm kind of scared that once Fantastic Four comes out, it won't live up to my expectations like Superman did. It might. Who knows? We'll see. Um, anyway, that was all I wanted to talk about today, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode of me nerding out and fanboying and whatnot. And yeah, can't wait for the next movie, whenever that is. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please, I had a brain fart. Please go check out last week's episode if you haven't. Also, check out Random Monday, the RMIs. Please check out the RMIs. If you follow Instagram, you know what I'm talking about. But please follow the RMIs. And yeah, see you guys next episode. Love ya.